Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, heat number 1 in your official race program will be the Fender Benders out on the racetrack. And a nice little field of 7. For those who were with us just a month ago at our first race meeting of the season, we destroyed a fair few Fender Benders. So that will basically put it down as to why we've got a few less cars here for tonight. But the front row will be Steph Hogan in 75 and Aaron Gully on the outside of him. That will fill up the front row. Good enough for us by the looks of things. The green flag will fly for the first time tonight. And it's Steph Hogan in 75, the EA Falcon out in front. This racetrack will be a fair bit of an equaliser. It's very wet from bottom to top. We'll see how they fare out of turn 4 and across the start-finish line for the first one of the night. And it is Hogan out in front. Almost a seasoned veteran in the Falcon and the Fender Bender. Behind him, Aaron Gully, only new to the category. Terry McCallum just dropped back to spot in the car number 87. And car number 72 is Mark Hogan, the Super Stocker star. Out there in the Bender at the moment, he's coming up onto his brother. Bit of brotherly love at the front of the field for the first one tonight. So it's a pair of Hogans and a pair of Falcons. Mark Hogan, of course, driving the ex-Warren Johnson. So that is a Central Queensland number 2 qualified car. So it's not a slouch by any means, and he has started off the night from the rear of the field, now heads to the top side out of turn 4. Very nicely done around the outside, will take over the race lead in 72. Nearly say Mark's got a fair bit of tyre underneath that car by the looks of things. Could possibly have stolen a few rims and tyres from the stocker. Speculation purely, of course. But he puts another one down in car 72. You can see it starting to drop up as well. They're starting to get rid of that loose stuff off the top of the racetrack. Steph still behind him in car number 75, wondering how he can catch his brother. And Terry McCallum in 87 there in position number 3 as they go past the start-finish line one more time. Bit of a moment into turn number 4 there for Hogan in 72. White flag is out one more for him. Of course, he'll be used to the quick steer, the brake bias, the big roof wing, all the gear on the stocker. And out there at the moment, he's got manual steering essentially as they drive off the street out of the roll cage, and now he's out in the Bender. And he will make it 1 from 1 in his Fender Bender return with the checkered flag flying. Steph Hogan still there for position number 2 in car 75, and Terry McCallum in 87. So it's a Ford whitewash in the opening heat of the Fender Benders. And the rest of the field will be wondering how they can get rid of Mark Hogan, as he's just basically walked out and taken out the first heat race for the Fenders. We'll have a quick chat with Mark Hogan, the winner of the opening heat race of the afternoon. It's just taken him, he's had one race meeting off, I suppose, so he's a little bit rusty on getting the gear off. So how was that, Marky? Of course, Super Stocker. I mentioned you're a Super Stocker legend, I think, during the heat race. And you've come back to Fenders. The boys will be thinking, would you go back to Super Stockers now, no doubt? But how was that? How do you find the transition from a Stocker to a Fender?
Yeah, listen, mate, we've had a Super Stocker for a couple of years now, and it's getting a bit tired, so we've decided to pull it apart and build a new one for Super Stockers. But I thought I could have a season off, but obviously I came to the last meeting and decided that I'm far better out in the middle than in the grandstand or in the bar. So, look, it's just a season in this class, obviously, just to tide us over until the Super Stock is finished. But look, I'm having a ball so far, so touch wood, so long as I take the car home straight, win, lose or draw, so long as the car's straight and I'm having a good time, that's all that matters, mate.
All right, thank you, Marky. 1 from 1. Undefeated in your Fender Bender return. and the recently married Brian Page on the outside of the front row. Congratulations to those guys, who are Brian and Tanya. There's our last race winner. He's back there as well, position 8. The one the last heat race for the Fenders, Mark Hogan back there. And Heath Simpson, car 68. Keep an eye on him from the back of the field. Green light's on, we're away. And it's the big XF of Brian Page and car 27 out in front. So as they get one down now, it's Pagey in 27, Steph Hogan behind him, and Schnabel in 89. They're your top 3. Now, if you haven't seen March or had a chance to have a look under a Fender Bender, all standard engines in these cars with a $100 per corner tyre limit. So you can only spend $100 on a tyre for these cars, and you can only go as wide as a 235. So when you have a look at the nice wet racetrack that we're running on here this evening, trying to get a 253 power to a 235 rather, power to the ground. All that power is being delivered through a little tyre. So the guys do a great job. And this is where it's at if you want to start your career in speedway racing here in Fenders. Nice and cheap. Crash them, bash them back out and go again. We continue on. Brian Page still out in front in car 27. Fairly new car for him. Only done one race meeting in the new XF. Still Steph Hogan and Schnabel rounding out the top 3. Then it's back to McCallum and Roger Langley in position 4 and 5. The racetrack, it seems, starting to suit a few cars more than others, as we've got 3 groups of 3. You couldn't do that if you tried. First 3 coming part of the start-finish line now to greet the white flag. One more to travel for them. Our second group of 3 coming out of turn 4. And our final group of 3 about to enter turn 4. So if only we meant to do that, that'd be terrific. But here comes Mark Hogan. From the back of the field, has moved himself up to the front part of the second group of 3, if that makes any sense. But he left it too late as the checkered flag flies. Brian Page in car 27 will pick one up. Steph Hogan in 75 will get in there for position number 2. And Barry Schnabel in car 89. As the Fenders roll to the safety area now. Let's see if we can catch up with Pagey. See if I can't get over there without getting run over. You're a hard man to catch. Got me all cruising across the infield to find you. So obviously married life's working for you, brother.
Must be, eh? It's pretty good out there at the moment. Yeah, I enjoyed that really well. Bit out, it's a first race. I'd to go and have a look at actually that got out of the car and make sure it's all legal. So it's the first race, but I'll make up for the rest of it and the rest of the night.
That's the way to make it up. Take out a race win. Brian Page in 27. Yeah, it looks like officials aren't going to give us much of a chance to have a quick break. Goodness, man. Good times. I was going to try and give you ears a rest with my chat, but we're straight back into it. Third round of heats now for the Fender Benders. And if something looks different, we've gone the wrong way. The toss of the coin sends us in the clockwise direction for the first time tonight. Nathan Reynolds in car 13, the EA Falcon out in front. Oh, Roger Langley down the inside in car 88. Shot out of a cannon. And he moves his machine to the front, 3 wide back there too, halfway through the field. That's Steph Hogan on the outside. And he's a long way up. A long way from home is car 75 as he's at the top of the racetrack. Brother Mark behind him as well. But it's Roger Langley in car 88. That car obviously loves going the wrong direction. Barry Schnabel behind him in 89. Great stuff. They seem to be enjoying it out of turn number 4. Of course, the opposite way around. So turn 1 normally. They seem to get a great slingshot out of there and a run down the back straight away. The Terry McCallum doesn't want to give up his spot. Car 87 comes into contact with Mark Hogan. But he'll slide back to position 4. Oh, we're taking out Witch's hats as well. That can only mean we've shot a fender bender through the drain. It's all Langley still out in front. Mark Hogan fighting the steering wheel in his Falcon. Now you'll see there as the leader goes past, folks, there is a handful of Witch's hats there. That's the only drainage out here in the middle of the racetrack. So if you go through that, it's a big hole, to put it simply. So that's why there's a couple of Witch's hats there. You don't want to send the car through it. But now it's Mark Hogan. He's out in front. Wouldn't have gone the wrong way around this place for quite a while in car 72. Langley's still there in 88. McCallum now to the outside. Car 87 of Terry McCallum. He moves up to position 2. Then it goes back to Langley and another Hogan. And Brian Page in position 5. White flag. One more to travel this time for the Fender Benders. Out of the final turn, checkered flag will fly. We've got one around. That's Aaron Gully in car 50. Oh, into the fence as well. Steph Hogan drills the concrete. Gee, they left it late to turn it on. But Mark Hogan will pick up the race win in 72. Yeah, that's a big smack to the right-hand front corner for car 75. Having a quick listen to the radio to find out our minor placings. So how was that, Marky, going the wrong way?
Might sound weird after driving Super Stockers for quite some time, but actually quite enjoy going the opposite way. So it suits me fine.
Good times. That's about all. I'll let you go before I start making fun of you about getting back to winning races in a Falcon. But no, I'll let you go. I don't want to keep you.
Mate, I needed something really cheap and really quickly, so a Falcon was the obvious choice.
Quality is sometimes cheap. And a pair of red cars off the front. It is also a pair of Hogans. Mark Hogan from pole position. Steph Hogan on the outside. Remember, Steph put his into the fence in the last heat out. We'll see how that thing gets around. Anti-clockwise again for the Fender Benders. Now, who's got the most cheatingest engine? Might be, well, they're pretty close. Hogan and Mark and Steph, 1 and 2. Brian Page behind them in position 3. And the 87 car not far behind either of Terry McCallum. Roger Langley's there as well. Schnabel on the outside in car 89. Bit of movement at the back as well. The 68 car rounds up Aaron Gully in 50. Back to the front now in the front 3. Mark Hogan, Steph Hogan, and Brian Page. 3 Falcons out in front. And the car leading at the moment is the ex-Warren Johnson Fender Bender, so that thing's got plenty. And we mentioned at the top of the show as well, still a few cars missing. So in the future events out here at the showgrounds, we look forward to getting some more Fenders out on the track. So still quite a couple of cars missing, so that'll be really good. Schnabel moves down the inside of McCallum. That will be for position 4. And remember also, with only 6 shows here for the season, every single race will count as they all get towards the end of season points. So 24 races. There you go, did that in my head. Bit of speedway maths. 24 races in total for their season. So it's not a lot, so they'll be looking at every single place they can make up. Fastest start finish line again, it is Mark Hogan. Steph Hogan behind him. Brian Page, then Barry Schnabel in 89, then Terry McCallum. Terry McCallum back there in position 5, an ex-mud racer. Made the transition over to Fender Benders. And a big hello to the rest of the family who are probably up around here somewhere. Catch up with them later as well. 15 laps the total distance for the first feature of the night for the Fenders. Oh, Cortina of Aaron Gully pulling it back a gear. Good times down the main straightaway. Well, coming up on the lap traffic now for Hogan. That's Mark in 72. He's your race leader. Roger Langley skating across the infield. Oh, we got one in the back. It didn't end up too bad by the looks of things. That had real potential to be a big one. Langley in 88 had an issue and skated across the track. The 68 car did a good job to miss him. It looks like Roger will continue as well. Great driving by those two, a near miss. So your race leader coming past you now is Mark Hogan in 72. Car 50 is a lap car. So Steph Hogan still in position 2 in 75. Then it's back to Pagey. White flag this time. So one more go around for the Fender Benders. Hogan will come up on lap traffic. Won't be a factor though as the checkered flag flies this time. Mark Hogan, first time out, or first time back rather, in a Fender Bender. Takes out the feature race in car 72. Steph Hogan in car 75 and Brian Page round out the podium. There's position 2 and 3 going past you now, folks. Rightio, ladies and gentlemen, his return to Fender Benders. Car number 72, put your hands together for the feature race winner, Mark Hogan. All right, we'll have a quick chat with Marky before this race gets underway. Mark, congratulations. First race back at a Fender Bender after a little while. And you've shown, well, actually, screw talking about how cool it was that you won. How has it been next to your brother in a Fender Bender?
I'm sure there'll be a couple of good stories at the breakfast table tomorrow with my younger brother. But look, like I said before, it's really good just to come out, make up some numbers in the Fender Benders. They were a little light on numbers, so it's good to see there's plenty out there now. And yeah, no, just having a really good time.
There we are, folks. Put your hands together one more time for Mark Hogan.